Tashdile, this is Sakina Bhatt and welcome to Tibet This Week, a weekly feature in English about this week's news on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Central Tibetan Administration. Let's look at the headlines first. His Holiness the Dalai Lama opens second dialogue series between Russian scientists and Buddhist scholars. Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister attends 20th All India meeting of Bharat-Tibet Sahyog Manch in Mandi. We are on your side and we will never be silent. European parliamentary delegation in Dharamshala. US Ambassador to India Honorable Kenneth Juster visits Dharamshala. Tibetan Task Force discusses efforts to resolve the Tibetan issue. A Tibetan wins National Film Award for Best Editing. His Holiness the Dalai Lama opened the second dialogue series between Russian scientists and Buddhist scholars on understanding the world at Zuglakhang in Dharamshala on Thursday last week. His Holiness emphasized on the importance of scientific means for educating younger generation and said that religious teachings have fallen short in advocating love and compassion.
So now, time comes. We have to make every effort to educate people the sameness of humanity, and individual's future depend on the rest of the human being, rest of the world. That's the main purpose of our meeting. You see, on the basis of a scientific sort of finding, how to educate warm-heartedness, the moral principle based on warm-heartedness.
The Tibetan spiritual leader further spoke about the ancient traditional ties between Russians and Tibetans. The two-day conversation was based on His Holiness's book, The Universe in a Single Atom, The Convergence of Science and Spirituality. Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Sri Jairam Thakur attended the 20th All India meeting of Bharat-Tibet Sahyog Manch held at Vipasha Sadan in Mandi on Sunday this week. Chief Minister in his address said that Himachal Pradesh was blessed as His Holiness had chosen the state as his second home, and it was due to his presence that Dharamshala has emerged as a world-famous destination. He further said that Himachal Pradesh and Tibet used to share a historical border before 1959, but however, as a result of Tibet's occupation by China, His Holiness the Dalai Lama had come into exile and sought refuge in Dharamshala. His Holiness the Dalai Lama has a special love for the state and its people, the Chief Minister said while speaking on the occasion, and added that Bharat-Tibet Sahyog Manch is doing a commendable service in providing a suitable platform for deliberating on the burning issues related to Tibet. The Central Tibetan Administration held a felicitation ceremony in honor of a three-member European parliamentary delegation comprising of members of the European Parliament, Thomas Mann, Saba Sogor and Raymond Tremosa at Ganjin Keshong on Monday this week. CTA President Dr. Lobsang Singye expressed his gratitude to the European Parliament and European Union for its relentless support towards the Tibet issue.
And European Union and European Parliament have passed many resolutions on the issue of Tibet. Has been in the forefront as far as Parliament passing resolution. I think European Parliament has passed the most resolution on Tibet, perhaps ahead of United States also. So for that, we are very grateful, and we want to urge you to continue to pass more resolutions and, extend your support for many years to come. And His Holiness Dalai Lama is the biggest advocate and admirer of European Union.
Thomas Mann, the president of Tibet Interest Group in European Parliament, expressed solidarity with the Tibetan people and hoped that the visit will reinforce the hope and trust of the Tibetan people in the European Union and Parliament.
And also every year we have a China report. A China report, the last one, told about we underline the status of Tibetan autonomous region. We underline the middle-way approach of His Holiness. We want to have the re-establishment of the dialogue between China and the Tibetan parliament in exile. We want to have a clear message for the climate. You have the rights for these human rights, for cultural affairs, for your language, and also for very fair dealings with each other. You have the right to survive, of course. You are kind of the human rights affairs worldwide. That's we are on your side. We will never be silent.
Sabasagor advised the Tibetan people to be prepared for changes unforeseen but dictated by sudden political situations. Raymond Chumosa drew numerous parallels between Tibetan and Catalonian people in terms of his unique language, culture, non-violence policy, also in the color of his national flags. On Wednesday this week, the European parliamentary delegation received an audience with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Speaking about the audience, Thomas Mann said, "In whole Europe, people are celebrating the way of European Union, our values, progress, and also our problems. So on this special day, we had the opportunity of meeting His Holiness. He underlined how important the European Union is, although he knows that we have some conflicts and differences, but he said, the most important is what you have done in all the last years. So it's important, and your fight for freedom is important." The US Ambassador to India, Honorable Kenneth Juster from the US Embassy in New Delhi, visited Dharamshala on a 2-day official visit beginning Thursday last week. During his visit, the ambassador had an audience with His Holiness the Dalai Lama and also met with CTA President Dr. Lobsang Singye.
We had discussions on a range of subjects, but most important was his view about how the inner peace of individuals can spread and bring broader peace to mankind.
A former US government official, Ambassador Kenneth Juster, was appointed as the US Ambassador to India in November 2017. The 30th session of the Tibetan Task Force on Negotiations, presided by Dr. Lobsang Singye, concluded on Thursday last week. During the 3-day meeting, the members discussed about the recent developments in China post the 19th Party Congress and the National People's Congress. The task force held a detailed discussion on the situation inside Tibet, the shifts in global political landscape, and the overall prospects for the resumption of dialogue between Dharamshala and Beijing to resolve the issue of Tibet. Tenzin Kunchok, a young Tibetan professional, won the National Film Award for Best Editing for the film Mrityu Bhoj, The Death Feast. Tenzin Kunchok is the first Tibetan to receive the award bestowed by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India. He started his career as an editor with BBC World Service Trust, where he worked on the award-winning HIV/AIDS awareness show Haath Se Haath Mila. He has also directed and edited films for a host of clients. So much for this week. See you next time and have a great weekend.